Now it's depending on what we talking about. Like we talking about accomplishments. If we speaking accomplishments, but if we speaking like skills, I think I'm like the best fighter in the world. My brain.
Shakur Stevenson says it's time to get revenge on all the fans that was running their mouth. He says he's better than Bud Crawford skill-wise, and Frank Martin, he gonna find out for himself come November. So we're gonna talk about exactly what Shakur Stevenson had to say, and we're gonna talk about the fight that was just announced today between Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin. But before we do that, make sure that you hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. Ah yeah, Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson, they getting it on in November. And I can't wait. And let me start this off by saying that I was wrong. I didn't think that this fight would materialize. I know that it was ordered by the WBC, but I thought the politics of boxing was going to get in the way. But I got to give a special shout out to Frank Martin. Yeah, because we all know that Shakur Stevenson, he was already in line to fight for that strap, right? But fighter after fighter kept pulling out because they ain't want no smoke with Shakur. But Frank Martin, being a man of his word, stepped up to the plate and said, if y'all ducking him, I'll fight him. And shout out to Errol Spence, man, for actually making this happen. Yeah, because they didn't have to go to purse bid as seen today when the fight was announced, right? They didn't have to have a tug of war on what network it was going to be on. Errol Spence said, hey, just pay my fighter what he deserved, and I'll let him go over there to Top Rank and fight Shakur. Ain't nobody else doing stuff like that, right? Not no high-profile promoter like Errol Spence and a fighter on a come-up like Frank Martin. You know what I'm talking about? So all of the fans talking about that PBC don't let their fighters go over the Top Rank. Hey, it just happened. So, man, I want to give a shout out to everybody involved. And like I said, especially Frank Martin, man, because he's stepping up, right? And he's stepping up to some competition. And he's stepping in some mud and some ish that's very, very deep. But he up for the task, man. So, salute to him. But unfortunately, Frank Martin is a great fighter, hell of a fighter, tough, can punch, got great footwork. But Shakur Stevenson is a special talent in its levels. And I'm sorry, y'all, Frank Martin ain't on his level. And Martin will find out come November. And I can't wait because, yeah, some of y'all listening to this right now. Some of y'all are listening to this right now. Y'all was talking all of that. Shakur don't want none of Frank Martin. The energy is different with Shakur when Frank Martin name come up. Tell Shakur, tell your boy to stop ducking Frank Martin. I want all y'all to keep that same energy because see now, y'all gonna have to eat your words. And I know y'all ain't gonna give Shakur his credit when he go out there and put a masterclass performance on Frank Martin and he make it look easy. Y'all gonna come up with more excuses saying, well, Frank Martin was green. The same ones that was hyping up Frank Martin, saying how great he is, saying that Shakur Stevenson was afraid of him. People was telling me, F Shakur. He can't beat Frank Martin. Who he fought? Shakur ain't fought nobody. Yeah, y'all know who y'all are. I hope y'all listening right now. See, I would get petty and call y'all out one by names. But nah, I'ma just wait till the fight happen. And I'ma wait till the fight is over. Then I'ma pull up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because see, a lot of y'all was crucifying me when I said, look, man, Shakur beats Frank Martin. Shakur beats everybody at 135. Now, I know the Tank Davis fans, they don't like to hear that. That's my opinion. I don't have a problem if people think that Gervonta Davis can beat Shakur. That's the best fight that can happen at 135. You know what I'm saying? It's a pick'em fight. But I picked Shakur Stevenson. So don't get up under my comments crying. But ever since Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson fight got real and it got closer, y'all already starting to change your energy. I hear a lot of, oh, well, if Shakur beats Frank Martin, y'all say that he this and that. He's supposed to beat Frank Martin. Y'all wasn't saying that before. So the energy is already starting to change. But I'm here to remind y'all, keep the same energy that you had before I go to pulling up receipts and making videos with audio in it, with your voice in it. Yeah, don't make me go do that, because I'll do it. Y'all know I'll do it. Shakur Stevenson, right? He feels that he is the best fighter in the world, and he feels that he's gonna prove it, and he finally has a worthy enough opponent to prove it against. In a recent interview, Shakur talked about how he feels that Terence Crawford is the GOAT right now. He says when it comes to accolades, Terence Crawford is the GOAT, and he says that he's nowhere near Terence Crawford in accolades. He wants to catch up to Bud Crawford, right? But he also says that when it comes to skill-wise, he says, I feel that I'm better than Bud and I'm the best fighter in the world when it comes to skill set. Now, I know a lot of Bud Crawford fans, y'all screaming right now, y'all looking at this like, oh man, F Shakur. How is he talking about he's better than Bud? He ain't accomplished nothing. He ain't did shit. Well, first of all, y'all gotta stop being so emotional. If he feels like that he's the best fighter in the world and has the best skill set in the world, that's the type of fighter that I want on my team, because it's something called confidence. You see what I'm saying? Most of these fighters don't have that nowadays. It's very few fighters that'll come out and say, you know what? I think I'm better than Bud Crawford, skill-wise. Now, not only that, if you listen to Bud Crawford talk about Shakur, Terence Crawford says the same thing. He says Shakur is absolutely going to be the next pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He says Shakur actually can do things that I can't even do. Shakur can do things that I can't even do skill-wise. So Bud told you that himself. So it's not a competition between Shakur and Bud Crawford. Obviously not. You know what I'm saying? Bud is already solidified. Shakur is trying to reach that level, and he's trying to prove that he's actually on that level and surpass that level. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, obviously, he still got to prove that. Now, the fighters that Shakur has been in the ring with in the past, nobody want to give him credit. Don't nobody want to give him credit for whooping up Oscar Valdez. They say that he's slow, he flat-footed, he's a one-dimensional fighter. When he beat Olympic gold medalist in Robinson Conceicao, he might have won the silver, maybe a gold or silver. I could be wrong, but I know he medaled in the Olympics, Robert Conceicao, right? And I think he an excellent fighter. Everybody said that he actually beat Oscar Valdez. Shakur went out there and put a clinic on Robinson Conceicao, but nobody gave him credit for that. So Shakur has beat everybody he been in the ring with, and he's done it and made it look easy, but he still haven't got credit. So everybody was calling Frank Martin a boogeyman. Now that fight is gonna be made. Actually, that fight is made. All they gotta do is drop a date in the venue. You know what? I'm probably gonna pull up to that fight. And then after I pull up to that fight, I'm gonna pull up on some of y'all platforms, because I'm gonna make sure y'all keep that same energy. But 2023 is amazing. This is an amazing year for boxing. We getting all the fights that we dreamed of, and we even getting the fights that we didn't even think was gonna happen. Like I said, I didn't think Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson was gonna fight until maybe at least a year from now. Even when Frank Martin talked about this fight, right? Frank Martin said, I'll fight Shakur Stevenson, but it really don't make sense for us to fight right now. This is an interview that Frank Martin did earlier in the year, right? He says it really don't make sense for him and Shakur Stevenson to fight right now, because they're both still building up their careers and they can make a whole lot more money fighting in the future. Well, I don't know what happened. Well, what happened is everybody else ducked Shakur Stevenson, right? They pulled out when they could have had a chance to fight for the WBC strap. But see, they didn't believe in themselves like Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin believe in themselves. Going back to what I said earlier, that a lot of these fighters, they don't have confidence. So he got the opportunity, and when he got the opportunity, he proved when he said, yeah, I'll fight Shakur Stevenson. He proved just that, right? The opportunity came, And although he feels that they can make a lot more money down the line once they continue to build a career, he still stood up to the plate and took the fight. Shakur Stevenson, he could have been a punk and backed out when he seen that he was going to have to fight Frank Martin, because that's a tough fight for a lot of people, right? But he said, nope, I want to fight Frank Martin, and I want to show that I'm on a whole different level. I'm going to make it look easy. So Shakur Stevenson, he still got to get in the ring and back up that talk against a tough opponent in Frank Martin that has skills. Because I heard y'all saying that Shakur, he ain't never been in the ring with a fighter that can box and has skills and power. Well, now y'all gonna get your wish. You know what I'm saying? You made a wish and now y'all gonna get it. I'm here calling your bluff because I don't see y'all with that same energy now. But anyway, man, I can't wait for the fight. I'm hella excited, as y'all can tell. Make sure that you hit my like button. Make sure that you drop a comment in the comment section and let me know how y'all feel about this fight. You going with Frank Martin? Are you going with Shakur Stevenson? Smash my like button, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
Too cold with it. Check out the interior. It's hater me. Chalkboard material.